Mago in local parlance means corruption, misconduct, and the absence of fair play. Now joining us this morning is Dr. Kazim Durodoye, CEO, ZMAC Hybrid Solutions Limited. We also have Bishop Emmanuel Gospelisang, co-founder, Interreligious Coalition Against Corruption in Nigeria. Many thanks for joining the program, gentlemen. Let me start with you, Bishop Emmanuel Isang. Now, the report, Mago website. Now, why did you decide to use technology in tackling corruption in Nigeria?
Thank you so much for having me. We decided to use technology because that's what is trending. The corruption we are talking about in Nigeria has been there for a long time, as old as Nigeria. But it can only have gotten so notorious because of also social media. So we are also using the same technology to expose corrupt practices. You know that people get corrupt because they feel they will not be caught. So as soon as people get conscious that what they're doing is in the eyes of the public, they get also mindful of their actions. So the website is a platform we're going to use to allow Nigeria to speak up and have opportunity to report corrupt practices which they encounter in their way to work, in their way to church, or whatever they're doing.
All right, let me go to Dr. Kazim, who also joins us here this morning, and not forgetting to Dr. Kazim, looking at the fact that there's technicalities involved in the creation of this website. But let's ask, is it a website? Is it an app? And is there also a number? What are the platforms that people can actually use to report this corrupt cases?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. What we have built in the phase one is a portal that enables Nigerians to go onto that portal, fill a very simple form, basically input your name, which is optional, your telephone number, the address, and also what exactly you saw or what are you reporting that is tagged as Mago. So essentially, you can also go onto the contact us page where there's a telephone number where you can also pick up a call and call into that number and also make a report. But going forward in the phase two, we would enable Nigerians to be able to download an app on the iOS or the Android Play stores, whereby you can also do the same thing using the app. In the phase two as well, we would also enable you to route a call through a call center whereby you can speak any of the major Nigerian languages, and that particular case also goes into the workflow and it is eventually terminated at the right agency of government that is meant to deal with that particular case.
Such a laudable one. Now, let me come back to you, Bishop. Nigeria is ranked 154 out of 180 countries in the 2021 Corruption Index, which was published, I beg your pardon, by Transparency International. So that means if we're giving ourselves a scorecard between 1 and 100, Nigeria scores 24. That's an E in some universities. Now, the launch of the website was in partnership with the US government and other religious groups. Why did you get all these people involved in this?
Thank you so much. Like you said, perception matters in assessing the integrity of any country. It affects businesses and investment, international investment. The more corrupt your society is, the more investors and visitors, tourists are driven away. So like you say, bringing down the corruption index, especially of a reputable organization like Transparency International, is important to us. And you know that a fight against corruption is very powerful if it is fought within the system. So the US General Consulate and other bodies like MacArthur Foundation sponsoring this association, they can only give us helping hands. There's nothing you can do than give us helping hands. The corruption in Nigeria can best be fought by Nigerians. We need to rise up for the change we are looking for. And let me say this, corruption is a pivot upon which other activities revolve, other vices revolve. Corruption breeds violence, corruption brings poverty. Therefore, corruption brings unemployment. It brings bad governance. In fact, the blessings and the development of a country like Nigeria rises and falls on corruption. If we do nothing about corruption, corruption will wipe us out. So it is very important that we lean on our senior brothers, the United States, and other friends of Nigeria and brothers of Nigeria to fight corruption. And we will not leave the fight against corruption only to the federal government, ICPC, EFCC. They can only do as much as they can if they have the political will. So clergymen from Islamic and Christian divides and even traditional institutions must join hands together to fight the thief that steals our commonwealth. And this is by creating this platform for Nigerians to speak up. We are not all corrupt. Therefore, Nigerians are not even corrupt people. It is that the few that are corrupt are giving us the bad name, and we must not throw the baby with the bad water.
All right, you've talked about this extensively, but how interrelated is this website, Report Mago Mago? How interrelated is it with the federal and state security services? And what are the steps should one make a report? Those who have been caught, are they going to be passed on to the security services? Are they going to, just take us through the process, first of all. What's the interrelation between Mago Mago and the state security services?
I would like Dr. Kazim to come up on that technical question.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, Dr. Kazim should come up there.
Okay, thank you so much, Bishop Dr. Isom. Okay, so in terms of relationship with the law enforcement agents, during the launch, I mentioned very clearly that we do not investigate cases. Our role is to enable Nigerians to report such practices that are deemed Mago Mago. So when we take this report in the phase 1 that we launched, we are able to pass the case to the right agency of government. So if it's a case involving, say, economic and financial fraud, the case will be passed to EFCC. If it's an ICPC case, it will be passed to an ICPC. So we pass it to the relevant agency of government after we do the first level investigation. So the first level investigation just ensures that we know who is reporting and it is actually a genuine case. So once the case goes to the law enforcement agency, we are trusting them to be able to take the case to a logical conclusion. The next point that we get involved is to get the feedback from the agency of government so that we can report back to the fellow that has reported this case. That is in the phase 1 that I talked about. But in the phase 2, we would enable each of these agencies of government to be able to log into the portal. So from time to time, when a case is reported, the case is already classified and the case goes to the right agency of government. So when they log in, they will be able to see that, oh, we have 10 cases that are waiting for us. It will also have escalation rules such that if a case lands with the office of, say, the police, if let's say it's a visa scam, then if in X number of days, there's no action that is taken, then the escalation rule takes over and routes the case to another senior agency or another senior officer in the same agency, such that no case is left unattended. So all these are what we want to do in the phase 2. But right now in the phase 1, we would pass on the case to the law enforcement agency, who would investigate, report on the case, and terminate the case. Our role is just to get back to whoever made that report to say this is the status of the case you reported to us.
All right. Thank you so much. I wish there was more time for me to bring up more questions that a lot of people have been yearning for answers. But thank you so much for your time, Dr. Kazim Durodoye, CEO, ZMAC Hybrid Solutions Limited, and Bishop Emmanuel Gospel Ison, co-founder, Interreligious Coalition Against Corruption in Nigeria. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate